The thing that I would do differently, and I would encourage everyone to prepare ahead of time, is this. The All In Summit is the in-person event of the All In podcast with Jason Calacanis, Chamath Palihapitiya, David Sachs, and David Freeberg. Last year, I paid $7,500 for a ticket to attend the All In Summit in Los Angeles. On top of that, I spent several thousands on the flights, the hotel, food, etc., bringing the total cost of the experience to close to $10,000. I've watched almost every single episode of the All In podcast since, so when the 2025 summit was announced again, I wasn't sure if I should go again. On top of that, people are all asking me all the time, was it worth it? Is it just an expensive vanity networking event, or is there some real value here? Let me break it down and talk about the pros and cons, and later I will reveal one thing that I would do differently if I would go again. Let's be real, this conference is not for everyone. First of all, the price. At $7,500, it's a serious investment. And I'm not saying this is necessarily a bad thing, because it definitely makes the crowd high caliber, at least financially. I hope you know what I mean here. It's no guarantee, but it keeps the signal to noise ratio low. Still, that's a lot of money for just 2 days. Then there's the travel. If you're not California based or even US based, it's a haul. I flew from Europe last year and I was only there for a few days. It's intense. Jet lag is real, and unless you combine it with something else like I did with Burning Man, it can feel rushed. And you want to be fully present to get the most out of it. My third downside is that all the content is public. So all the talks are eventually uploaded to YouTube. So if you're mostly going there for the speakers, you could arguably just stay at home and watch it for free. I'm not saying that that should change, because these are important conversations and the world is better off with them being public, but it's something to be aware of. The fourth point I have is that it's very America-centric. From the political panels, the types of discussions, to the startup ecosystem references, the lens is unapologetically American. That's not a bad thing, but if you're expecting a truly global tech summit, this isn't it. This is also reflected in the crowd, which has people from all over the US, very few Europeans, not to speak of anywhere else in the world. Then there's the sort of VIP character. Last year they had this other VIP lounge called All Access, and some of the more exclusive action was happening there. Expect speakers, previous speakers, and guests on the pod to be doing their own thing. If you're a regular attendee, that might feel like a tiered experience, like you're either in or you're out. I usually want to be all in, so I'm curious how to get this kind of ticket. What do you think about the All In Summit? Have you been, or would you go? Let me know in the comments. Let's talk about the good stuff. First, the community. One of the biggest surprises for me was how tight-knit and welcoming the All In crowd is. A lot of people attend every year, so if you go more than once, you really start to build long-term relationships. It's like the podcast fandom has become its own business tribe. I was very much in between things, just listening to what other people were doing, but I got the sense that it can be great to do business with people there, as you get to know each other throughout the 2 or 3 days, and that builds trust. Then there's the content. The mix of business, politics, and science is totally unique. As someone who's now building my own VC firm, I found the conversations incredibly relevant, from Peter Thiel on agency to Thomas Lafont on VC markets, one of my favorite talks actually last year, to the legendary Sachs Mersheimer panel on geopolitics. I mean, that was truly special. My decision to move to the UAE later that year was also confirmed. So I really learned a lot, both from the talks and from the conversations. Thirdly, the production value is insane. They really don't cut any corners. Every detail is polished and feels truly intentional. From the staging to the food to the evening events, it really is an elevated elevated experience, just like they said in the podcast promo. I expect they will take it up a notch this year, building up on the lessons from the previous events. Also, they have a full-time CEO now, so I expect it to be even more professionally organized. My fourth point is the timing. With everything going on in the US right now, from elections to AI, regulation to global realignments, this year's summit will probably reflect that energy. They are best friends with both Vice President JD Vance was at the summit last year, and so was Elon Musk. It's going to be intense, thoughtful, probably somewhat controversial. That's what makes it worth watching, and that's what makes it worth being a part of this community. Last but not least, the parties. Yes, they are fun, and they did a great job making it engaging. That's why the parties, including the before and after, is also where some of the best conversations happen. Last year we had Santa Monica Pier all to ourselves. We had Top Gun jackets and some pretty surreal moments with founders, investors, and even a few surprise celebrities. The thing that I would do differently, and I would encourage everyone to prepare ahead of time, is this: brush up on your poker game. You got a chip that when you registered, that is your buy-in for the first game. And last year it completely went past me. I only got into playing on the last evening. I wish I had been part of it earlier, because it's another great way to connect. It's an amazing icebreaker, so you can just interact with people without having to hear the story of how they run a real estate marketing agency in Denver. No offense. So, is the All-In Summit worth it? If you're a founder, investor, or operator who's already deep in the All-In orbit, absolutely. It's one of the most interesting, high-quality events you can attend. You'll meet smart people, hear big ideas, and be part of a moment. If I was living in LA or happened to be there, I would absolutely go. If you're on the fence, or if you're just getting into the podcast, maybe watch my review of last year's event and see if it resonates with you. As for me, I won't be going this year, unfortunately. I have a wedding that I cannot miss, but I'm already planning to return next time and probably combine it again with Burning Man like last year. Come to think of it, should there be an all-in camp at Burning Man? Comment below if that's something that you would be into. One thing that does make me curious though, they've been promoting this year's summit much more aggressively on the podcast. Last year, there was hardly any mention, and yet it sold out fast. So what's going on this time? Is it a bigger venue? Are the ticket sales slower? Let me know what you think in the comments. If you've been to the All-In Summit before, I'd love to hear your experience. If you're going this year, enjoy it. It's gonna be great. Please reach out if you're a fellow friend of the pod. If you're just watching from home, you'll still get a lot of value. If you're into business, startups, venture capital, especially if you like technology, consider subscribing. I'm documenting my journey of building a VC firm from the ground up, and I'm sharing what I learn along the way. In case you haven't seen it, here's my review of the All-In Summit 2024.